Hey, what's going on, guys? It's TrekYT here, or Nick, and I'm back with a brand new base showcase episode. In today's episode, it's a little bit different. I'm doing 5 vault designs instead of one main big base. I decided that I would do that because I feel like I've neglected to do that in general, so not everybody's in a massive faction base, so I feel like the people that are just soloing it out in factions or whatever type of game mode they're playing, that they could use their own little vault design that'll stay hidden, but at the same time still look beautiful every time they walk into it. So without further ado, guys, I'm going to jump into 5 brand new vault designs. Jumping over to our first one, I have a sand, like a green and like a brown color palette going on. But what's really nice about vaults in its own sense, I guess, is that they're most of the time are normally symmetrical. They're normally in some way, there's some sort of reflection going on. This way has all 4 quarters of it are exactly the same, but on some, like, this half could be the same as that half, and this wall could be different than that wall. But in some way, there's normally symmetrical. Because they're so small, it's hard to get original, like, organic detail in there, so it flows better if everything is more symmetrical. So for this first one, it's just a round sphere with dispensers all over the wall, and that's how it's going to be for all of them. There's going to be no chest space. It's all going to be dispensers because I'm going to try to do my best to think of like a creative, like a way of hiding from X rares. This most likely is not, I don't know like the specifications or how people are like, I guess, hacking these days in factions. So back when I played factions a lot, dispensers did the job. They may still do the job from X rares, but let's move on to the next one. So now at our second one, it's one of those ones where not all 4 corners of it are symmetrical. One half, the opposite halves are symmetrical. So we got 2 levels for this. Interesting. It's introducing a second level to it. We got dispensers on either side, and then we got 4 little dispensers down at the bottom just for a little bit of added storage. Different colored flower beds or flower pots on each corner just to add a little bit of detail, because there's only so much detail you can add in here before it gets a little bit too crowded. So we got a little water feature on either side just to add that little, like, I guess it just splits up the symmetrical or the continuing of the normal pattern. So I guess it's like an eye-catching detail, I guess, is basically what I'm trying to say. So we got 2 levels. That's one level is not symmetrical. The other level, this level is a little bit smaller than that level. So that looks good. It's kind of just, it's changing up a little bit of the more symmetrical part to the base. I know it's very small, so there's only so much I can do, but every little bit that I do counts. And so this one's color palette is brown, green, and blue with the little touches of gray from the dispenser. So that color combo works great together, and without further ado, let's jump on to the next one. So moving on to our third one, this one is very, very long and very symmetrical, but the added little rainbow of glass clay kind of just splits up and adds that little spice and I guess that eye-catching detail that I always try to add in every single build. But what's nice about this is there's so much storage. This vault would probably not only be used by one person unless you're literally amazing at factions and you have this much stuff that you need to store in your own little vault. But it's very long, and I guarantee there's probably some way that you could hide it, maybe throw lava on the outside. I don't know necessarily the defenses when it comes to designing bases, but I definitely can get you a little bit of a more pretty inside to your base. So it's a very standard, very geometric design. But what's nice about it is that it's all white with the splash of color, and I very rarely use quartz, so this is probably one of the only builds you're going to see me use quartz in. But I wanted to try to get everybody's little, like, own, I guess, favorite kind of blocks, I guess, to be used, I guess. So what works great, though, is the quartz really does work good with all the prismarine blocks. They work great together. They really accent each other. Something about I guess the design of the block itself, not necessarily just the color. I mean, the colors great work together, but the design of the block, I guess it's just kind of similar in some way. It just feels like it should go with the quartz, so that works great together. And without further ado, let's jump on to our next one. So you may or may not recognize this design. I've used this design before in I think base showcase 4 or 5, I'm not exactly sure off the top of my head, but in that video I did mention that this base could definitely be used as a vault. So what I did is I took out the water protected chest and all the chests in general, and I replaced them with dispensers to show that it could definitely be used as a vault. This one is not really maximizing the capacity of space that it's given. It's more just trying to just make it a really beautiful looking vault that's pretty symmetric. It's a very basic design. Just when you go ahead and add in different colored blocks in varying organic places, I guess that is what makes it more like pop. But the structure itself is very symmetric. It goes stone and then gap, windows, gap, windows, gap. So it's very organic. It's not very organic. It's a very symmetric design with details thrown in organically to make it look more organic overall. So this design the color palette's really great on this side. I really enjoy that the glass, the light blue, or I think it's cyan actually, I'm not sure. Yeah, it's cyan stained glass, and I think it's magenta and then lime green. It works very great together. I believe those are the colors of a YouTuber by the name of Exuma. I think he really enjoys those colors as well as gray. But I think that this color palette is amazing. And then this really dark oak, dark wood planks. They work really great together, and without further ado, let's move on to our last idea. So moving on to our last one, it's one of those ones where only opposite sides are symmetrical, so this side is symmetrical to that side. And what I really like about this base is that the base itself is not an organic shape. Other than one side being symmetrical than the other, this side is sort of arced, and then it's flat on this wall, and then it's arced again. And then the roof is just, it's a vaulted roof, and I think a vaulted roof can make anything look good. All you have to really do is just shove the roof up there, maybe even add a little bit of a curve. This is sort of like a tunneled shaped roof. I mean, it's sort of got a curve to it. I mean, as much as you can get with blocks in Minecraft. But it just looks so great from down here. It just looks so cool having that vaulted ceiling with that little inlet right there that just kind of adds that little depth that just makes it pop a little bit more. So it's got a ton of dispensers in here, and a little trick is turning the dispensers like face up, so like the dispensers like facing up towards me. It looks really good when you stack it on top of each other. You could even use this not necessarily for storage, but you could use this as a designing technique for like a column or something, because the block itself from the outside looks kind of cool. It looks like cobblestone, but it also at the same time is kind of meshed with like an andesite block because it's kind of smoother or whatever. So this design, it looks really good in my idea. It's very plain color. It's the obsidian color, so like a dark purple or dark blue mixed with like a black kind of color, and then just some browns and then some gray. But I just really like how clean this design is and how organic I was able to make this room with also having it being a symmetrical room. So that's gonna finish off our 5 vault designs. So if you guys did enjoy mixing it up a little bit today in today's episode of Base Showcase, using vault designs instead of just a large massive faction base, definitely drop a like on this video. I can definitely do another episode of this, but I'm probably gonna go back to the normal massive base in the next one. If you guys want to see any other type of build, like faction based kind of thing, just think of a design or something, I can definitely try it out if you come up with a good enough idea, like a block combination or something like that. Or if you guys want, go ahead and build your own faction base on like a creative server or something like that, and tweet it at me, and I'll definitely check it out. If I think it's good enough, I will use it as a base showcase, and I will definitely give you all the credit, because as much as I love building, I get really distracted, to be honest with you. I start playing mini games or something, and then I just forget about building. So that's why you haven't seen too many building videos lately, is because I get really distracted doing other things and not making videos of my own. As always, guys, I love you all. See you guys later. Peace out.